in to the hottest station on the planet.
Resistance is futile. The revolution has begun.
You're listening to Rebelpreneur Radio, helping you break the rules and build the business you need for the life you want. And now, broadcasting his pirate signal
from somewhere beyond the status quo,
here's your host, best-selling author, marketing and media strategist, Ralph Brogden.
Hello and welcome to Rebelpreneur Radio, the show that helps you build the business you need so you can live the life you want. I'm Ralph Brogden. Well, how would you like to be able to align your business with your soul, with your faith, with all the energy and the emotion that goes along with that, and be able to channel that in a way that you can transform not just your business, but your life as well? Today's expert is going to help us and guide us into that new understanding. Her name is Emma Churchman. She is a business coach with a Master of Divinity degree and mad genius psychic skills. She grew her business with a basic website and no email list to a multiple six figures within a year. She mentors entrepreneurs who desire to transform consciousness and as a spiritual director for Conscious Business. Emma is a catalyst for aligning business with soul, embodying faith, and refining mindset and energy and emotions to empower entrepreneurs to grow their empires. That is quite a mouthful. Can't wait to get into it with you. Emma Churchman, welcome to Rebelpreneur Radio.
Hey, Ralph. Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks so much for being on the show. Now, we talk about breaking the rules so that you can build the business you need for the life that you want. That's the classic Rebelpreneur mindset. You're taking it to an even deeper level that I want to get into. First of all, tell us a little bit about your background. How did you get started down this path? What's your story?
You know, first I want to say about breaking the rules. Yeah, like the rules that we're going to break today are about remembering and knowing that not everything has to happen in the 3D, right? In the third dimension. There are other ways to break the rules for what happens in humanity. So, little teaser there.
Yeah.
It was never my plan to get into business coaching because my background, I'm a spiritual director. I was a life coach for a time. And several years ago, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I noticed that all of my spiritual direction life coaching clients were entrepreneurs. And of course, entrepreneurs want to obsessively talk about their businesses. And I work with energy, right? I'm psychic. So one day I'm sitting there listening to an entrepreneur talk about his business, and it occurred to me that just as I could see the energy of a person, that a business also has its own energetic signature.
Yeah.
So I started looking at my clients' businesses from an energetic perspective without fully grasping what it was that they were doing in their business. I just asked for what was out of alignment and what needed to shift, like with their products or services, or their price point, or their marketing strategy, or their sales funnels, or their business systems. And based on what I could see was out of alignment, you know, I would say to them, I really think that this marketing strategy is out of alignment. It feels like it would be in alignment to approach it this way. And my client started to take actions based on that alignment, that direction of alignment. And then they started making more money. And I thought, holy cow, I am onto something.
Yeah.
So that's what actually began my journey working with conscious entrepreneurs and their businesses.
That sounds very exciting and very intriguing at the same time. Tell us a little bit more about who you help and specifically what is a consciousness entrepreneur? What does that mean?
Yeah. So when I say conscious entrepreneurs, and the word conscious is so vague and broad, it's kind of like one of the words that's being thrown around in the transformation industry a lot these days is authentic. Like, what does that actually mean? Right.
Yeah.
So when I'm talking about conscious entrepreneurs, I'm talking about entrepreneurs who are on a spiritual path, who have had some kind of spiritual awakening, who get that their business is a platform for their own spiritual evolution, who want to play the game of transforming conscious awareness on this planet, whose business is designed to support evolution in some way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I am all about the idea that a business can be a burden or it can be a blessing. And I think for coaches, consultants, subject matter experts who know how to solve problems and deliver solutions, that's transformative. And I also believe that everything in life is holistic. So it's not just your business in this compartment and your life in this compartment, your spiritual stuff over here, your emotional stuff over there. It's all connected. So it's really fascinating to think about how all of this plays into the success of a business.
Exactly. And I'm sure someone else on your show has said that success in business is 10% execution and logistics, and it's 90% managing you, your thoughts, your beliefs, your emotions, your energy, your ability or inability to make decisions or take action. So I really just focus on that 90% of the equation.
Yeah. That seems like every person that I interview from the standpoint of success in life or in business, they're all going to point to that mindset. And there's different language to describe it. Some call it intuition. Some call it energy. Some call it consciousness. Some call it mindset. Some call it paradigm. Some call it the inner game. But it really comes down to your business is an extension of yourself, and either that extension is positive and transformative to people, or that extension of yourself is carrying your ego and all of your negativity is being manifested in that business. And so then people are not happy with their business. But what you're saying is it's not fixing the business, it's fixing yourself.
Yes. Yeah. And there's a really interesting pattern that I have discovered in the transformation industry and with conscious entrepreneurs who get to six figures or even multi six figures. Like they might get as high as 250,000 in annual sales. And then they freak the you-know-what out because who they were in their business that got them to that initial level of success is not who they need to become in order to get to the next level.
Yeah. And that's where a lot probably just kind of freak out and collapse and may even go backwards in their business because they're not transforming along with the business. They're not growing.
Yes. Yeah, they can go backwards. They can hit a financial glass ceiling and not be able to get beyond a certain income level, and nothing that they do strategically or logistically changes that. Or another thing that I see show up for these folks is they realize that who they were and what they did that got them to quote unquote success is not sustainable or not who they want to be. And they don't know what to do because now they've got this established business to manage, often with team members, and they've become resentful of their business. Or another pattern that can happen is they've grown their business, so their bottom line has increased, and now they're responsible for generating whatever 10, 20,000 or above each month just to keep their business going, like the lights on, and they're still not reaping the reward of having a six or multi six figure business. Yeah. And the impact of all of that is that they no longer trust themselves in their own businesses.
Interesting. Yeah. So this is exactly the sort of in-depth analysis that is really suited to the Rebelpreneur mindset. How do we build the business that we need to be able to live the life that we want? And with that is the assumption that building the business to a certain level, six figures, 7 figures. I've seen some throw out 8 figures that they say that they're doing. I'd be curious to see the books on that, because you have to have a lot of help to get to that point. But the premise behind building the business you need for the life that you want is that the business is a means to an end. It's not the goal is not to have a 6-figure business. The goal is to have the life that you want. And
Right.
tell me if you believe making money is going to be a worthwhile goal that is going to get someone up out of bed in the morning once they've already achieved that 6-figure income.
Absolutely not. And, I'm so glad we're talking about this, because if an entrepreneur has had a goal of, I just need to get to 6 figures or a $10,000 a month or a $20,000 a month or whatever, and then I will have achieved whatever I think I'm supposed to achieve, and then I'll feel safe or feel at ease. Like, first of all, I'm calling BS on that, because that's not how it's going to go down.
And the only people who think that are people who've never made that.
Exactly. Exactly. And the other thing that happens when money is no longer the primary motivator, and if you're feeling like resentful or burnt out in your business, you've got to learn how to get in touch with a deeper desire that's going to motivate you forward in your business. And for anyone who not anyone, for a lot of people who come from a low income, a poor background, even like a low middle class or middle class upbringing, we don't have a lot of understanding around what desire is, right? It's like taught in our society to have desires beyond getting to death as safely as possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it kind of blows people's minds to have to learn how to get in touch with what is my deeper desire beyond just getting to death as safely as possible.
Yeah. Yeah. And I could see that someone who is inexperienced with wealth, they think that is going to give them the purpose. And maybe it is the purpose in the beginning. Maybe you are a rebelpreneur, not by choice, but by force of circumstance, meaning you got laid off, right? Or you lost your job or whatever. And so you begin this thing, and I guess in the beginning it is mostly about survival. But what you're telling us is that you need a bigger, deeper, you need a bigger why, and you need a deeper desire than mere survival. And that's where you come in to help align business with something that's a higher calling, something that is about faith, about your soul, about the things that are much larger than just making money or just surviving.
Right. Exactly.
So why is that so hard? What is the biggest obstacle you see when you're trying to help people make this transition?
Let's come at this from the perspective of want, right? Like wanting is a disempowered energy. So if you get to a certain level of success in your business and then your business stops working or goes backwards, or you're resentful or burnt out or can't see the way forward and you're freaking out and you want things to be different, like you're so deeply uncomfortable with what's going on in your business right now, it actually puts you into a disempowered state. Wanting things to be different than they are in this moment, wishing that you were further along.
So it's a vicious cycle at that point. You're just perpetuating the wrong image.
Right.
Or the wrong energy. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. It's fear-based energy running the show in your business. It's keeping you caught up in the past or in the future instead of in the present moment. And what's true is that all possibilities exist in the quantum field when we are in the present moment.
Okay, now that just went right over my head. So,
You want me to break that down a little
break
bit?
that down a little bit and tell us about that quantum field there.
Okay. I'm going to do a little bit of teaching, like hang in there with me for a couple minutes, and then we'll see if it makes sense. So your empowerment, your way forward in your business begins in the present moment. Because when you're able to get into the present moment, you can create anything. So
let me make sure I understand. This is like the power of now. It's not worrying about the future. It's not obsessing over the past. It's right now, today. Is that what you mean by now?
Yes, that is what I mean by now. Thank you, Eckhart Tolle.
Yeah.
And so that's the first step. But there are all these things that take us out of the present moment. Fear, comparing ourselves with others, worry, resentment, feeling like a victim, focusing on what's wrong in our life and our business, with our money, with everyone around us. Right. So it's really, that's the work, to release that stuff so you can get into the present moment, because your power lies in the present moment. And here's what I actually mean by that. What you can do from an energetic perspective is you can literally energize your way into a new reality. So let me give an example of that. Like, think of a time when you've made a giant sale in your business, or you've just completed a project with a client, or running a program that you were super excited about, and you just feel empowered, you feel free, you feel abundant, you feel expansive, you feel joyful, like you're riding the high of that.
Mm-hmm.
We're used to experiencing that kind of energy after the fact, after something has been made visible to us in the 3D, right? We're not used to experiencing that energy before it happens.
Right. I'll believe it when I see it. That's
yes. Yes. So what I'm suggesting is that if you want to start drawing more of those experiences of freedom, of abundance, of joy, like whatever energy you want to be catalyzing in your business or in your life, if you want to bring more of that energy to you, you start by creating that energy right now in the present moment.
Mm. And you do that by what? Imagining projecting yourself into a situation that you've experienced in the past that gives you the same sort of energy. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Let's go through the exercise together if you're willing.
Sure.
So, Ralph, give me a name for the energy that you would like to be catalyzing more in your life and in your business. One word.
Power.
Cool. What does power feel like in your body?
In my body, power feels like energy, focus, in the zone.
Okay. And where is that energy, focus, and in the zone? Where is that located in your body?
I would say, that's a good question. Where is that located in my body? Holy moly. I have no idea. Where should it be? I don't know. My hands? It's like making a fist.
Okay. Cool.
Maybe fist pumps or something.
Fist pumps?
Yeah,
okay.
Maybe that's it.
Okay, cool.
That's a great question, by the way. I've never thought about that.
Yeah. All right. So imagine you've got the fist pump thing going on. Like maybe even do it while we're talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And really get into that energy of power. Feel that throughout your body.
Yeah. Yeah.
How does that feel?
Yeah. And I'm also giving that primal yell. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay.
How does that
good.
feel?
That feels great.
Okay. Cool. Now turn it off.
Okay.
Okay. Now turn it back on.
Yeah.
So when you are taking action in your business, if you're going out to make a sale, if you're going to be with your audience, if you're about to hit record on the next show that you're recording, like put yourself physically into that energy of power and take action from that energy.
That makes a lot of sense. And that's got to be preferable to, sitting halfway slouched over and, half asleep. Oh, I got to do the next call or whatever. Yeah, that's some powerful stuff. So you're talking about mindset, energy, emotion, state management, creating those moments that we are empowering ourselves to take action in a way that feels right. Feels
right.
Good. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I do a lot around mindset, and I'm not at all diminishing mindset. Like, I do feel that we have limiting beliefs or stories that keep us from being fully in our own power. And I also think that sometimes it can simply be as easy as turning on the energy within us and acting from that energy. Like, I don't necessarily think that we have to journal our way to success.
Right.
As much as, like, we don't, I'm saying this so delicately because I know I'm walking a fine line. I don't think that we need to be doing as much navel gazing as we have been doing in order to really activate our desires.
Yeah. What you're suggesting is that it's latent within us and really doesn't have to be figured out mentally. In fact, if we try to approach that mentally, logically, then we're really not accessing the right kind of energy to really activate it.
Right. Because that's fourth dimensional energy, your mind, right? And your mind is deeply connected with your ego, and your ego's primary agenda in the world, again, is to get you to death as safely as possible. So it's going to play all kinds of tricks and games with you to keep you from being fully empowered. Because when you're fully empowered, you're going to do things that are going to make your ego deeply uncomfortable, and it's going to do everything it can to shut you down.
Very powerful information here, and transformative for anyone who wants to take their life and their business to the next level, whatever that is. And we're not talking about figures. We're talking about faith and soul and energy, and really designing the business you need to give you the kind of life that you want. And certainly money is part of it, but it's not the whole picture, is it?
Right. Exactly.
Emma, what are you working on right now that's got you excited enough that you want to share it with our listeners?
Yeah, thanks for asking. I have been running a mentoring and mastermind program for a few years called Grow Your Empire, which is for conscious entrepreneurs who have already achieved a level of success in their business, who are ready to take their business to that next level, and get that who they be in their business has to change and evolve in order for that to happen. And what I'm excited about with that right now is that I didn't fully understand when I first launched this program a couple years ago, was that something amazing happens when spiritually conscious entrepreneurs come together and catalyze their collective energy. So folks who have already had the spiritual awakening, who have already been walking this path of transforming consciousness on this planet, and some of the folks who have gone through this program are truly on the cutting edge of what's possible for us with energy and consciousness. So this program has become this holy experiment of spiritually conscious entrepreneurs coming together to catalyze our collective wisdom and knowledge for expansion. So we're playing the game of transforming consciousness on this planet and making good money doing what we love. And it totally lights me up to be able to witness and accompany these powerful conscious leaders in this particular way.
Yeah. Wow, that's kind of an untapped market, isn't it? I mean, is this like widespread? Is it growing? What's the state of consciousness right now in business?
Yeah, it is. Thank you for saying that. It is an untapped market. And again, not my master plan, just kind of evolved into that.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, if our listeners are interested in connecting with you, what is the best way to reach out and learn more?
Oh, absolutely. You can find me on Facebook at Coaching Entrepreneurs. You can find me on the web at emmachurchman.com. I have a YouTube channel, a blog, a podcast, free gifts, lots of different ways to begin learning the paradigm and the perspective that I take in growing empires. Very,
very interesting, and lots of ways to connect with Emma and to tap into this mad genius of being able to align your business with a higher calling and a higher purpose that also helps you to make good money while you're fulfilling that higher purpose. So this has been really enlightening, Emma. Any final thoughts or words of wisdom that you'd like to share with our listeners as we close?
Yes. Become the energy that you want to attract.
Become the energy that you want to attract. And we've gone through that exercise. So go back and listen to this replay, answer those questions, and go through that exercise that Emma led me in. I think you'll find it very transformative. I've been speaking with Emma Churchman. She is a business coach with a seminary degree and mad genius psychic skills who grew her business with a basic website, no email list, to a multiple six-figure income in less than 12 months. So if you want to find out more, she mentors entrepreneurs who desire to transform consciousness. Reach out to her at emmachurchman.com. Emma, it's been a real pleasure to get to know you. Thanks so much for being on Rebelpreneur Radio today. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Ralph.
You've been listening to Rebelpreneur Radio with Ralph Brogden. Download the show notes and much more at rebelpreneur.com.